welcoming all our guests. Sorry, I speak English very badly, so I prefer to speak in French. Alors, on est très heureux de commencer cette rencontre. Elle est assez importante, en tout cas pour la Tunisie, pour l'Académie. Et je voudrais vous annoncer que toute la manifestation passe en direct sur Facebook, YouTube. Donc, vous êtes suivis partout dans le monde. Je voudrais donner d'abord la parole à notre président, le président de l'Académie, M. Mahmoud Bramdan, ici ou là-bas? Ici, sur le pupitre. Puis, M. Mourad Belassoud, directeur de la recherche scientifique au ministère de l'Enseignement supérieur et de la recherche scientifique. Et puis, M. Mohamed Salah Al-Omri, le coordinateur de ce programme. À vous la parole.
شكرا سيد رئيس الجلسة، رئيس قسم العلوم الاجتماعية لبيت الحكمة سي عبد الحميد هنية. حضرات الضيوف الكرام، أرحب بكم في رحاب المجمع التونسي للعلوم والآداب والفنون بيت الحكمة، الذي يحتضن على امتداد يومين ورشة العمل الأكاديمية للباحثين الشبان حول موضوع العلوم الإنسانية والاجتماعية، الأزمات والتغيرات. تنتظم هذه الورشة بالشراكة بين وزارة التعليم العالي وأكسفورد البريطانية ومجمعنا المجمع التونسي بيت الحكمة. تهدف هذه الورشة إلى جمع ثلة من الباحثين الشبان من بريطانيا وتونس لتبادل الأفكار والبحوث في ميدان العلوم الإنسانية والاجتماعية. نحن سعداء جدا بهذه المبادرة التي تهدف إلى التلاقح الفكري وبناء علاقات تبادل معرفي وفتح آفاق أرحب للباحثين الشبان، تمكنهم من بناء أرضية بحث مشتركة واعدة. تدور أشغال هذه الورشة حول موضوع الأزمات والتغيرات، وهي ما يعيشه عالمنا اليوم بحدة غير مسبوقة منذ الحرب العالمية الثانية. إذن محور هذا اللقاء وجيه جدا، وهنا يأتي دور العلوم الاجتماعية والإنسانية للتحليل والاستشراف. تأتي هذه الورشة ثمرة جهد كبير بذلته لجنة التنظيم واللجنة العلمية. بهذه المناسبة أتقدم بالشكر الجزيل الأستاذ محمد صالح العمري، منسق هذه المبادرة ومبادر هذه المبادرة، وكل الأطراف التي لم تتدخر جهدا من أجل نجاح هذه الورشة، بدءا بوزارة التعليم العالي وجميع المؤسسات الجامعية المشاركة، وبالطبع قسم العلوم الإنسانية والاجتماعية الذي يرأسه الأستاذ عبد الحميد هنية. بقي لي في النهاية أن أرجو النجاح لهذه الورشة في تحقيق أهدافها وأن تكون تحولا مفصليا في مسار العلاقات الأكاديمية التونسية البريطانية. شكرا لكم.
صباح الخير. لو كان تسمحوا باش نقول كلمة بالإنجليزية بيسكو عندنا ضيوف. Donc, good morning. Professor Mahmoud Ben Ramdan, President of al-Hikma. Professor Mohamed Saleh Al-Omri, distinguished guest general directors and researchers. It is my great pleasure and privilege to join you today for the inaugural session of our bilateral workshop. First of all, on behalf of Professor Monsef Bekir, Minister of Higher Education and Scientific Research, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to St. John College, University of Oxford, and the Tunisian Academy of Sciences, Arts, Bayt al-Hikma, for their excellent collaboration with the General Directorate of Scientific Research in organizing this bilateral academic workshop for early career researchers under the theme Humanities and Social Sciences, Crises and Changes. I am pleased to express my sincere thanks to the British delegation of their attendance at this event. This provides a valuable opportunity to emphasize the importance we attach to bilateral relations between our two countries, especially in the field of higher education and scientific research. We anticipate that this occasion will serve as a crucial opportunity to enhance the exchange of experiences and foster ongoing communication between Tunisian and British researchers. This collaborative effort aims to fulfill shared aspirations and contribute to the mutual interests of our two countries in the field of scientific research. Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, it is evident that the relationship between UK and Tunisia in higher education, research and innovation is currently limited. Nonetheless, there is a shared willingness in both countries to enhance this collaboration. The establishment of Tunisian-UK Higher Education Commission in the spring of 2018 aligns with the significant ambitions of the both Tunisian and British governments to advance our cooperation in the field of higher education and scientific research. It aims to organize, oversee, and enhance the bilateral cooperation between the two countries in higher education and scientific research. As you are aware, the UK holds a privileged position among our partners. And beyond such initiative, we hope to sustain collaborative links, explore new cooperative initiatives around research projects, and can more extensively address shared priorities. The hosting of this event in Tunisia today underscores the determination of both our countries to facilitate the establishment of new networks among research, specifically focusing on the topic of human and social sciences. The event aims to foster connections within this thematic domain, promoting the encouragement of innovative interdisciplinary collaboration. Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, front of substantial socioeconomic challenges, Tunisia has sustained a notable level of research and development intensity, surpassing other countries in the MENA region. Scientific research stands out as an important indicator of universities' progress and development, particularly in their competition with one another. The reputation of scientific research within any universities is significantly influenced by the quality and the quantity of research published in higher quality scientific journals. To achieve this, universities have implemented diverse strategies to encourage researchers in the production and publication of their scientific work across various forms and disciplines. Tunisia recognizes the immense significance of scientific research and technological innovation sectors. Currently, efforts are underway to reform and advance these sectors in alignment with the aspiration and expectation of the country's youth. The objective is to enhance the training and research progress within universities through the cultivation of scientific and technical cooperation with international universities and research institutions. Additionally, we emphasize the crucial role of scientific research in meeting the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals. It provides valuable insights to decision makers operating within the diverse frameworks of SDG governance worldwide, aligning with the global goals of sustainable development. I believe that participants from both sides should capitalize on this opportunity, exploring a new direction and approaches in their research. It offers a chance for peer-to-peer scientific discussions, promoting the exchange of insight and expertise in human and social scientific research areas. Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, I would also like to emphasize the crucial role played by the Tunisian diaspora in the UK and their commitment to fostering connections among young researchers in both countries, contributing significantly to the development of the scientific research in Tunisia. In conclusion, I express my gratitude to each of you for your presence in this workshop and your valuable contributions to the discussion. I wish you all the best and great success in your works. Thank you very much.
Merci. La parole à M. Al-Amri, M. Mohamed Saleh Al-Amri, le coordinateur de cette rencontre.
Thank you, Mr. President. On behalf of the organizing and scientific committees, which is academic committees, I'll come to the translation in a minute. I welcome you to this event. I will leave my thanks to the last because I wanted to show actually why I am grateful for the people I'm going to thank at the end. So I wanted to start with delineating very briefly some frames and contexts within which this event is happening. See, Murad Beleswood already mentioned the dimension of cooperation at all levels between Britain and Tunisia in terms of research and higher education in general. But also there are other individual initiatives that have been happening over several years, and all of them have built up to this event. So I'd like to think about it as both a culmination of a number of events, but also a major opening in future ones. So this event focuses particularly on early career academics, and I think it's very fitting and rare. It's very fitting because we're basically not only we're dealing with something we all should work very hard on, which is the next generation of academics and researchers, but also we are all aware of the precarity and the pressure on academic life for this particular group of researchers and the fierce competition in the field, so that any support we can give them is actually much appreciated. In terms of process of developing the theme and format, I worked with an incredibly gifted and diverse group of researchers to develop this theme. So in fact, it opened discussion among disciplines not usually in direct contact with each other. And I found that throughout the many meetings we've been holding over the past year. And that continued. So it highlighted for me a couple of things, at least, that we are dealing with two very different educational cultures and research setups, and they need to be translated to each other, to one another, to be able to actually work together in sync. And that's why today's event is important. And some of that gets lost in translation. So for example, we spent quite a bit of time discussing what it means to be an early career academic, and actually how to translate it, not only in concept and language, but also in terms of selection criteria. Now, in terms of theme, see, Mahmoud already mentioned the crisis that we live in. A year ago, we were in several levels of crisis, but imagine that was a year ago. Today, I think we reached other levels of crisis, particularly with reference to Gaza here, and it is a genuine crisis, I think, of humanity in general. So the program we have, and I wanted to explain it a little bit. It is constituted of two parts. One is public, and one is, I don't want to call it private, I want to call it more focused, or workshop style. So the program that's public is going to consist of presentations today, all of today, and tomorrow until 11 o'clock. Then we close to only the participants and some of us, and we work in small workshops. You will see throughout the day that the approaches adopted in the papers themselves are actually a genuine and in practice process or expression of the intellectual dynamism in the humanities and social sciences. Now, the value of the researchers themselves that we have among us today, their diverse positions in terms of career, academic base, and disciplinary affiliation is quite interesting here. So while all the researchers are linked to British universities or Tunisian universities, actually their networks, their themes cover a much wider remit. So in this, I think we can talk about the global dimension of the research to be presented and discussed over these 2 days. And beyond the dimension, I think what will be discussed in form as in content is actually of global relevance today, at a time where we can see more crisis than change. As the program shows, the humanities and social sciences can provide narratives, critiques, and possible solutions to the crisis. And that's why we organize the program according to axes that read in a sense, a hopeful narrative. So we start with the critical narratives, we move to borders, to critical reflections on the crisis and changes, and end with a session on beyond crisis. Now, I wanted to mention something about the disciplines here, which is very important because while a number of British universities work on a regular basis across disciplines on a daily basis, this is not the case in all British universities, and this is certainly not the case with a lot of Tunisian universities. And you will notice, for example, that we have among us people who work in history, anthropology, literary studies, geography, design, refugee studies, environmental studies, and so on. Now, this is generally multidisciplinary, but doesn't mean it is interdisciplinary. And by putting these together, we're hoping that we move from that multidisciplinarity to work, it is interdisciplinary, where you put the disciplines together in order to come up with something that none of the specific disciplines actually comes up with. So now I come to the thanks. So I wanted first to express my gratitude to al-Hikma and the president, Professor Mahmoud bin Ramdan, who has taken keen interest in this cooperation early on and has encouraged full partnership with it. Professor Abdelhamid Hania, president of the Social and Science Department, has been within the core group of organization, and I want to extend my thanks to Hela Al-Wartani and her team at al-Hikma. On the ministry side, this project obviously would not have happened without the vision and the daily work that was put into it by Professor Murad Beleswood and his team. Some of us are not with us today, so I extend my thanks to them, Hayat Swai and Fatima Rafrafi. I wanted to thank Malik, who's with us today, Professor Malik Kushlev, who's the Director of International Cooperation at the Ministry. I obviously would like to send John's College. I wouldn't be here. For not only helping with the finance, but actually giving me the freedom to do whatever I want, and part of it is actually working freely and without too much restraint with Tunisian universities. The embassy has put some support in this, and all of you are invited tomorrow to a reception, and I wanted to thank Ambassador Helen Winterton. The scientific committee is varied. Some of its members are here, and it's all listed in your program. I extend my thanks to them, but I wanted specifically to express my thanks to what I call my dream team. So I really have been privileged to work with you, Professor Aqila Sillami from University of Sfax, Professor Samiha Khalifa from Manuba, Mimoun Militi from University of Sfax, and Saad Al-Hamid Haniya from Bayt al-Hikma. Thank you for your commitment. Thank you for your belief in the value of early academic research, and for your know-how. I learned tremendously from you. And last but absolutely not least, the presenters. They come to us from these universities, and I like to name them. They come to us from the University of Sfax, Sousse, Qayrawan, Durham, Glasgow, Leicester, Northumbria, Queen Mary, and Oxford. Now, I wanted to thank you, the presenters, for your trust, your commitment, and most of all, for sharing with us your research, your experiences and perspectives. In a sense, we are all your guests, and I thank you for hosting us.